I'm Dakshini. I'm a multidisciplinary visual artist and I'm also a set and costume design student. And I'm very passionate about bringing music, visual art, and theatre together. And I've done that previously in all my projects. And the Royal Conservatoire of Scotland is a very collaborative environment where there are musicians, visual artists, and designers, performers all under one roof. So it was my dream to bring all these talented people together to work on this project. And I also write and compose songs. I'm a songwriter and a visual artist. So I have these songs which always in my mind had a visual dimension to it. It was like a theatre show. So I wanted Song Story to be that common point where all this comes together. And I'm also from India and Malaysia. And in my culture, all these three forms, art, music, theatre, often exist together. And one of the things that really inspired me was also the Tolpave Kuthu and Vayankulit puppet from Tolpave Kuthu from India and Vayankulit puppet from Malaysia, where we have this tradition of singing, oral storytelling through singing and puppetry performances. So it is very much visual art and music going together. So born from this dream, the Song Story project came to be, where every song in this project is like a theatre show and it's also a visual art exhibition. So this project has really been a project of dreams for me, as it's been my dream to work with composers and performers from different disciplines. And it's really been a very amazing thing indeed for me to have my first show here in Glasgow, and this show that I organized with the support and help of my wonderful team. This show was sold out and we performed to a full audience, which was really a magical experience, and the audience were very appreciative of the show. And we also got a very positive review from a journalist from Edinburgh, and it's called the Edinburgh Music Review, and that was also a truly satisfying and a very happy experience to get as we see that the very all the hard work that we put in reached the hearts of the people. And it's also been my dream for this project to travel, and so far it's been happening in small ways already, because after the Song Story project I had 3 other concerts that happened recently. I had these puppets, these moving works traveling to these concerts, which also makes it a very sustainable element in our project indeed, because these same puppets and scenographic elements have a longer shelf life now, because they're going to be used in multiple performances. They've already been used in 3 interdisciplinary concerts that I organized. So they've been used in Wade into the Quiet Stream and into a Collaboration Society concert and another concert called Lullaby Friends. These were all 3 concerts that I recently performed in and recently organized and also collaborated with more musicians. So it feels like the Song Story project has already started traveling in all forms, and elements of it and songs have taken different forms too. Like in the Wade into Quiet Stream, the composer that I collaborated with gave more percussion music to it, which gave a different life to these songs. But some of these puppets traveled to that performance too. These chorals and the style of the puppets going into the audience was still consistent. And then there was Lullaby Friends concert, where this was a very pivotal moment in this journey, because I've created a band based on Song Story called Lullaby Friends, which currently comprises of 5 musicians, but that band is growing. And so this journey continues now, both through this band created from this project Song Story, and also through the performances that this particular band Lullaby Friends does, and also through the performances that has already happened. And I would say that if I had to reflect on my experiences, what I get from this, I've learned a lot about organizing and time management, and it is really almost like moving heaven and earth to make this project possible in such a short time. So and also me, as I'm a spontaneous person, and as a visual artist, when I work with art galleries, I often worked in a more spontaneous framework. But over here, though I have a lot of creative freedom, I also had to follow strict production schedule, and sometimes the workload was so much but the time was so less. So I am truly delightful and happy to have done this project in this short time. But in the future, if I have to take back a lesson, I would hope to do a project of this big scale over a long period of time, so that we would all have more time to rest, and the rehearsals could be more spread out, and each of us get the amount of rest we need. I think in terms of rest and concentrations, I should also make sure that every performer is well rested, and at the same time I'm also well rested, because only then I can contribute more. So that is a big lesson and something I would do in the future. And also with the designs and the structure, the whole process, I learned so much that now I know how to work better and manage time better. So these are all takeaways for me, and in the future I'll work more on these.